This is Colonel James Percy, Honorary Colonel of the 5th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. We are joined here today to commemorate Victory in Japan Day, often known as the forgotten period of the Second World War, which obviously carried on long after victory in Europe was declared. It's particularly poignant for the Northeast because the 9th Fusiliers in particular took significant casualties, played a very significant role in the Far East, and we lost a large number of men. I think it was somewhere like 178 men through being killed in action, through dying on the Burma Railway, and also through an unfortunate torpedoing of a prisoner of war ship. So it's a great honour to be here today, and hopefully the rest of the nation will honour it too.
We remember those today who fought and died or survived in the Far East campaign, finally ending the Second World War. It was against Japan, a war of survival from 1941, fought in the jungles of Burma, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Indonesia, on islands in the Pacific, and eventually Japan, at sea, on land, and in the air. Many men from Northumberland were engaged in the fighting or became prisoners of war. Many prisoners of war were forced to work on the Thai-Burma Railway in appalling conditions. In Burma, the fighting was severe, and the Allied troops fought in very harsh conditions. Disease and fever were rampant. These troops were pushed out of Burma in 1942 and into India. In 1944, the key defensive battles of Impal and Kohima in India were fought by the British and Commonwealth forces. Fighting was savage, literally hand-to-hand and intense. A relief column from Kohima broke through to Impal, destroying the Japanese siege. At Kohima Cemetery, 1,420 Allied soldiers lay buried. The famous epitaph, inspired by the Spartans' last stand at Thermopylae in 480 BC, is inscribed. "When you go home, tell them of us, and say, for your tomorrow we gave our today." After the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan announced its surrender on the 15th of August 1945. Victory over Japan was declared, marking the end of World War II in the Far East. Many of the older generation remember local Northumbrian men who took part in the Far East campaign. Very few would speak about their experiences. They returned home a mere shadow of their former selves, and the reunification of families and friends took some time. They were the forgotten army.
Dear friends, we have come together on this day to commemorate the anniversary of the end of the Second World War. We come together conscious of our need for God's forgiveness for the sin and desire to dominate others that leads to conflict between people and war between nations. We gather joyfully today as those who gathered on that first VJ Day, glad of each other's company and grateful for the laughter and love that follows times of sadness and loss.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
The Honorary Colonel, Northumberland Fusiliers. British Legion, Alnwick branch. Sailors, Soldiers, Airmen's Families Association. Far East Prisoners of War Association.
Hello, I'm Stuart Burkett, the Vice Lord Lieutenant of Northumberland. I've been at this ceremony today to remember the men from the Japanese conflict on VE Day, 80 years ago today, when the war in the Far East ended. And there's a strong local connection here with Fusiliers being involved with that, and everybody's determined to remember those men that were lost and the men that came back and found it very, very hard after they'd been in prisoners of war, etc. And this is a very successful event this morning and very good turnout, so very pleased with that.